Welcome to truthmafia.com. You're rocking with Tommy Truthful, Conspiracy Cinema Saturdays. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Tonight we welcome you to a realm of mystifying enigmas. A realm where the boundaries between fact and fiction blur, between the visible and the invisible. Welcome to Conspiracy Cinema Saturday. This is not your typical movie night. Here your guides are Tommy Truthful and Paranoid American, the most tenacious detectives of the Truth Mafia. These brave cinema sleuths are on a mission to unmask the obscure and decode the ubiquitous. To delve into the shadows of Hollywood's most popular and cryptic films and expose the hidden occult symbolism and messages concealed within. Are you ready to question the world as you know it? Join us as we journey into the underbelly of the silver screen, one frame at a time. So grab your popcorn and get ready for another episode of Conspiracy Cinema Saturday from Truth Mafia.
There we go, guys. So, had a little technical difficulty. I apologize. It's not streaming to my Rumble, but it is streaming to Paranoid American's Rumble. So, if you're on Rumble, you can watch it over there. And it's streaming to my big Facebook. And, well, both of them are pretty big now. So, we're going to get into Black Mirror, pretty much the last episode, and they cloned Tyrone. Me and Donut did a video on it the other day, but me and Paranoid American had one planned for Conspiracy Cinema Saturday. And I apologize, guys. The last couple Saturdays was all my fault. I wasn't feeling right, and so we're trying to play catch up now. Paranoid American, how you doing today, brother?
What up, man? Yeah, and we've been talking about getting the backlog together too, just so we've got new movies and old movies and things that we want everybody else to see. So that's all coming, and we're gonna have like a whole bunch of movies that maybe even if you want to suggest some that we haven't covered yet, that would be dope just to find out what you guys want to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. And pretty soon, me and Paranoid American are looking into a way that we can kind of watch. We're definitely probably not going to be able to watch the whole movie with you, but we'll be able to do like a movie review with the highlights and use federal fair use. And then we'll be able to premiere them type of videos with you guys. And we're building a members only part of that too. T Renell, what's up, girl? I ain't seen you in a minute. How you doing, sweetheart? Shout out to her. She's been with me since Illuminati Media days, bro. Back in 2017 and shit, I only got a few of them, like my girl Charlotte here. Both of them, they've been rocking with me since, man, it's crazy. See how far we came since then. So anyways, down in the description on Tommy Truthful 369, in the chat, you'll see you can join the Diamond membership. And guys, I just set up a whole new thing over there for the Diamond membership. We also, for $11, we have dream interpretations. So check this out. My AI that we built for uploading videos on truthmafia.com, it can just pull the video automatically, transcribe it, make the thumbnail, and upload it. That because you guys know we have a lot of content creators on there. So it makes it to where I don't have to do it manually. Now, what else it does is I can have it search the whole internet in seconds for whatever dream I'm looking into. I had a crazy one going on that I kept getting stabbed in this town. It was so bizarre, and it broke it down for me. Matter of fact, guys, go on Tommy Truthful 369, my Facebook, and you'll see the decode. It breaks it down perfectly. But you could join our Diamond membership, free astrology, numerology reading, and that gets you lifetime access to all groups on truthfultv.com. Okay, so let's get that out the way. And that also gets you the gematria class too, guys. All right, brother. So, what did you think about um they Cloned Tyrone?
Well, first of all, man, I thought it was a great movie just by itself, just like standalone. If you didn't want to go into it with like a whole decode on your mind, I thought it was good. It gave me like some Demolition Man vibes a little bit from a few of the scenes. But man, once if you actually care about the subject matter, I already sent you some slides that we'll get into much later. But it reminded me of, even if you don't want to look at this like it's a clone movie, and if it wants to be symbolic, then you can even see these clones as like NPCs or people that are programmed to react a certain way. And if you take it from that approach, it makes just as much sense. So, and actually, before we even get into it, of course, the whole Jamie Foxx clone thing, and I told you before we started that I'm not convinced that Jamie Foxx himself is a clone. I think that there are
Oh,
celebrity clones,
okay.
but
Let me.
I'm not sold on Jamie Foxx in particular at this moment.
I respect that, but I'm going to destroy it. But I respect it. Okay, so we got Ice-T guys tweeting this, right? Okay, that is definitely not the same Jamie, dude. Hey, look at his goatee, bro. The goatee ain't nothing. A man keeps his goatee the same way. Plus, he's just so much lighter, and his jaw structure is different. But anyways, that
I mean, I feel like some of it can be explained away through how close the camera is, because obviously the one on the left is taken by a telescopic lens, and he's dressed up, and he's probably got his, like, you know, he put in the black color for all of his little grays because he's going out on the red carpet that night. And then the one on the right is apparently like right after he got let out of wherever the hell they were keeping him under. So he's like flushed, and it's a selfie. And I'm just saying that this photo as it stands by itself isn't enough for me to go all in on clones on this
all right.
instance.
Well,
if you want to tell me about Michael Jackson, or you want to talk about some other clones out there, like, I'm all in. But this one, I'm just not convinced yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely convinced. But Ice-T writes this, and at the end, shaking my head, weirdos. I'm like, interesting. Shaking my head, weirdos is 137, guys, which is what? The biggest little Freemasonic number. 137. You add the 47 by 90-degree compass right there. What do you get? 137. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Masonry 33. Counterintelligence Program 33. World Health Organization 137. My apologies. Selling your soul to the devil 137, which they came to collect Jamie Foxx's. That's for sure. And this was in part of my Kingsman decode that I did, guys. It's over on my old site, TommyTruthful.com. Everything's getting moved over to truthmafia.com. And don't forget to check out my brother Paranoid American. He launched occultdecode.com. That link's in the description, and you see right up here. So it gives you all the banned words, guys. You type in what the word is that you can't say on YouTube because they keep banning you, and it'll give you the code word for it.
Yeah, I had to make this one because I got a video right now. If you search Thrill Oxide on Google, it should bring the video up now as a first result. But if you go to YouTube, it's the only video on YouTube called Thrill Oxide. And if you type in Thrill Oxide here on Occult Decode, it tells you exactly what that means, along with a few other words. So this will be hopefully a way that if we want to talk about something that gets dicey and you're not sure if you can still say and get monetized, you can just start typing the word you want to say in, and hopefully a blurred version comes up. And if there's something that's not here that should be, there'll be a way to just submit it really easily.
Why is it showing it blurred when I put that in?
See it right under there's a little checkbox that says screen safe mode. So that's like if you're actually showing your screen, you might not want to have a certain word on the screen, right? So that's what the blur's for.
That's interesting. You guys see what it really is, though? Thrill Oxide, the code word for, you know what I'm saying?
The A word that you're not allowed to say out loud, apparently.
So this
is
really cool. This is really cool for content creators too, that are keep getting trouble, keep getting taken down. It's going to be awesome for decoders because there's a whole nother level to the decoding there. But and remember, guys, we live in organic simulation. What we're tapped into is the source code. It's not like somebody's behind the fucking mirror writing all these numbers down. That's not how it works. Okay. It's an artificial intelligence that controls everything. It's been controlling everything since you were born. That's what's really going on. My brother Logan breaks this down amazingly. He actually just did a decode. It's up on truthmafia.com. He did this Barbie decode, which me and Paranoid American are going to go over that as well coming in a couple weeks. But that's a really good video he did, and it's about they open a portal in it, guys, from the Barbie land to the real world. She's quantum entangled. It's quantum entanglement. She's entangled with the DNA of the girl that's playing with her. So it allows her to open this portal and come from Barbie land into the real world. All that CERN predictive programming there. Very interesting. And there's so much over here that you guys probably don't even know. We put all kinds of new stuff up here. Right here, I put every patent to their satanic technology that you can think of, guys. Every single one. In satanic mind control technology, 1968. Well, that's the year the Rockefellers began construction on their Twin Towers. Other things that happened that year, 9/11 made the emergency code. 2001, A Space Odyssey is released. Astro World Park opens. The term coronavirus is coined by Rockefeller, and Rockefeller forms the Club of Rome. George Bush graduated Skull and Bones that year. 33 years later, he's the president. They bring them towers to the ground. But, that's just a coincidence. Don't worry. And down here, look at all these patents, bro. Look at all these patents. This shit took me a while. There's that link to Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, which he's about to get into with the connection to they Cloned Tyrone. But yeah, I just wanted to share a few of them things with my people. And guys, I'm telling you right now, before I forget, they're about to take Offset out. His new video, he comes out at 1 minute and 23 seconds in. 1, 2, 3 is conspiracy. He has the 2 double Knights Templar crosses on his damn pants, right? Then when he comes down the steps, you see he's got the 2 Templar crosses here, 83 on his shirt. Murder is 83. On the cover of Murder by Numbers, you got the 3 and the 8, which are reflections of 83. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to take off. So I've been saying this for a while, that he'll be the next one they take out. Their album's called Jealousy, which equals 27, matching Ritual and Witch. And she'll probably sacrifice her husband, so she can blow up some more. I don't know if his wife, how do I say this without getting in trouble, is what they say she is. You know what I'm saying? Who knows in Hollyweird? She might have a bigger penis than Offset. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean, guys? Keeping it all the way 100. But
you need an occult decode for that.
You come over here, use the Gematria calculator. Paranoid American's adding a bunch of new features, so we'll have the match feature. It's going to be crazy. It'll actually have more features than any other Gematria calculator on the internet.
Yeah, by far.
Yep, and it's not charging you. So, yeah, I just want to touch on that. But I do respect your opinion on Jamie Foxx. I believe they got him. It's ironic that so they force him to allow the government to experiment on him before he can even shoot the movie, right?
Right. Agreed on that.
Yes, he had to take the jabber. And then he's in a movie about the government experimenting on people. I mean, it's so ironic when you think about it. It's like, what in the hell is going on here? And a big cipher with Jamie Foxx, which I didn't include it on here. If you type into your calculator, Jamie Foxx killed and cloned, it equals 128. matching CERN, the resurrection of Osiris, hidden agenda, bridge collapse, and the bridge collapsed in Pittsburgh on 10/28 of 22. So the next 10/28 day is October 28th, Bill Gates' birthday. From the bridge collapse in Pittsburgh until his birthday is 91 weeks and 1 day, that 9/11. So I'm looking at October 28th for a major event. And yeah, you could go type it in, bro. Jamie Foxx killed and cloned equals 128. The towers fell at 10/28. The Challenger blew up at October 28th. You know, it's a huge number, bro. Inferno, the movie Inferno came out on October 28th, Bill Gates' birthday. It's a movie where they make a virus genetically modified to target your DNA. Oh, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? As we have 187 people in the live right now from both of the Facebooks. Exactly 187.
I'm gonna have to add maybe like some AI to the occult decode. So if you put a number in that could be a year, it just shows you a whole bunch of events that happen on that year or something too. Yeah, I love the idea, man.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. That'd be really cool because I'm always connecting it to dates and years and stuff like that. So, like, okay, for example, in the movie, they cloned Tyrone, guys. Most people would not have caught this. Right after they figure out that he was a clone, they go back to the girl's house, right? And did you notice, bro, the girl in the beginning of the movie when Tyrone came in to the hotel before he got shot for the first time? She was talking about damn cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I made a note of that because it's weird since all the other aspects of the movie make it feel like it's 1980s, 1990s, but she's talking about cryptocurrency. But they've got film grain. Every single television that they show on screen is an old school CRT, right? Like with like the glass, like convex sort of screen and everything. There's no like flat screens. And there was only one scene where I saw like a minivan that looked like it might have been from the early 2000s, but it looked like they bent over backwards to make sure the movie didn't look like it was modern. So it was weird that she was talking about cryptocurrency at the beginning.
Oh, that was the programming, the predictive programming. I caught it right away. I'm like, these motherfuckers.
Well, I think that yeah, this is a Christian show for children, please. But she was talking about at the end that and some spoilers, right? Like we can't really cover these movies without spoiler alerts, so cover your ears. But we find out at the end that she was one of the people that's not a clone, and that everybody else was a clone. So that kind of made a little bit more sense that she would know about cryptocurrency and blockchain, and all these other clones wouldn't because they weren't programmed to know any of that.
Yeah, she's not a clone. Yep, that's another thing. Yeah, she's the only one that's not a clone. So when they go back to her house, guys, the first thing Jamie Foxx does is he walks over and he sees this stack of books, and it's in the yellow and blue coding, which we know is connected to the Corona shit when it first came out. The yellow and blue, Freemasonry's colors, yellow and blue. So yellow and blue equals 1717. Well, guess what? That was when the first Mother Lodge was founded in England. So the hidden staircase is what the book's called. Now the hidden staircase equals 314. That's pi. That's perfection. Scottish Rite Freemasonry 314. 25th of September 314. Illuminati card game, which has the cloning on it. From the day the movie came out, they cloned Tyrone until this date, Monday, the 25th of September, is exactly 66 days, which coded is 66, biblical is 66. And the connection it has, this hidden stairway, to Revelations 9:11, which is CERN is built over the Temple of Apollo. They are releasing Apollyon, aka Abaddon. That's a Revelations 9:11. It's 2 months and 4 days, right? 24, guys. X is 24. All the X symbolism, which represents Osiris, the dead god. They're resurrecting Osiris, trying to put Osiris back together again. This is why Elon really changed his logo. But I have another theory on it, Paranoid American. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, there's an interesting weave here too, that Elon Musk is bringing on some of this like AI kind of like revolution into the new technological age, and then he decides that the symbol he's gonna appropriate is gonna be a cross but tilted on its side. And I mean, previously someone took a well-respected symbol and then just tilted it on its side, and it has a lot of occult meaning when you do that, because you're basically shifting the energy of this symbol that everyone's been investing all their energy in for such a long time.
Well, John Hodge, you said people are going to be surprised when Tiamat is going to grab a hold of Earth. And when it does, people are going to wish they would have listened. Fast forward this to the 128 mark. Look what the Vatican had put in place. Okay, that 128 number. Talk about synchronicity, John. But anyways, I don't know John, and I'm going to show John something because that part he talked about is interesting. Now, I think, John, I think Nibiru, Planet X, is really a dimension that they're opening an interdimensional Stargate to. Okay, that's CERN. We did it with the Tower of Babel, and I did an amazing decode on this, Stargates. But let me show you this real quick. So Elon Musk and his X stuff, right? Now I had this downloaded. Let me download it from here. Save as, so I can play that for you guys. All right. Check this out, guys. Elon Musk. Let me get down to here, this part, because that's just about him switching to Twitter. All right. So before in the Islamic belief, before the coming of the Antichrist, Al-Jassar, this kind of sounds like AI. It comes first. A strange creature is seen as foreshadowing I can't pronounce that word, Dajjal, the Islamic Antichrist. So I put that in, guys. It's 14, matching Dubai and Satan. Osiris was chopped up in 14 pieces. The COVID vaccine went live on December 14th during the Corona eclipse in Argentina. And who was the president? Trump, born on the 14th during a blood moon. It's all connected to Osiris. Jamie Foxx, he has the 2 X's on the end of his name. You know, the whole thing we're seeing right now with the X is connected to the coming of this new Antichrist. Now, so the symbol of the X linked to Osiris emerges in various contexts, even manifesting in modern day logos like Twitter. There's talk about the cashless society and rise of the So Twitter, they want to change it to like China's WeChat. And he had X.com. His plan from day one was to set up the cryptocurrency. That's why they painted him as a hero figure, because he's going to come in and set that cryptocurrency up. So many people are going to buy it because Elon did it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they try to rebrand these entities right here, along with the rebranding of fallen angels as aliens or interdimensional entities. CERN, and this is what CERN is really called, the Osiris machine, becomes a central piece in these enigmatic schemes, seemingly aiming to resurrect Osiris and bring forth a horde of demons, his little crew, right? So let me shut this part out. All right. So let me see where I was going with this. Right here. Okay. In this article, right here, guys, Elon Musk's Twitter rebrands as X. That was on the 24th day of the month, too. Remember? Down here, if you read about the article, it just has the X all through it. It's so freaking nuts. Guess when it was designed? 2012, the year Nibiru is supposed to come. But remember, in the scripture, it says they changed the laws and the times of the Most High. Remember, they changed the laws and the times of the Most High. So 2012 was not 2012. It wasn't the end of the Mayan calendar. Now look at this. China spent 1.29 billion, or no, there's 1.29 billion users in China alone, right? All right. So right there, 129 is wormwood. Has to do with the cashless society. Wormwood causes the collapse of everything. Now, guys, listen to this. It doesn't matter if they're using Project Bluebeam, the sun simulators, projecting these suns in the air, and they're going to use HARP to cause it to happen, and then tell the masses, "Oh no, that wasn't, you know, that wasn't us. That was Nibiru, a planet on an elliptical orbit." When really, if you look what Archaic says, what Jade Dream says, it's a weapon system. That's what it is, some heart type of weapon system that is called the Phoenix phenomenon. And it's wormwood of the Bible, Revelations 8:11. This Nibiru is where the shape-shifting lizards are from. Okay? It's a Dimension X. That's what I believe with all my heart. Wormwood in Sepentry equals 24, matching the X. So I think maybe all this X shit we're seeing might be connected to Planet X, also Dimension X. So yeah, it's very interesting to me when I started seeing all this coding around wormwood and stuff. I'm like, damn, they that movie Greenland, remember that, guys? It literally was about wormwood. So I don't know. What do you think about that, bro?
Well, I've heard of Nibiru also referred to as the water planet, and how the age of Aquarius is, the water bearer, and that there's a connection that it's been. I mean, I was talking about this with Donut a while ago because he had his Illuminati dolphin thing going on, but I mentioned that one of my favorite Planet X theories that I've heard was that that's maybe where dolphins came from, and that when the water planet got close enough to us, that they didn't necessarily like jump from the ocean into our ocean, but that the consciousness of dolphins might have come from one of these other planets when it comes into our orbit, and that their consciousness can jump from their planet into ours, and they just happen to have jumped into dolphins. I'm not saying that I believe that one, I would die on that hill, but I just love that particular theory.
Thank you, Amanda. We appreciate you. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Now, me, I think it's a dimension. I could back this up many ways. The ancients talked about a stargate opening in the sky, an 8-pointed star, which is called the Star of Anana, the Star of Ishtar. It's in Barbie too. In Barbie, when she's going to the real world and she's looking in her rear view mirror, on her forehead is the 8-pointed Star of Ishtar. You'll see it a lot in there. It's also in that movie. What was it called? What was the one I told you I wanted to watch on Apple? Foundation. It was on,
The new
yep.
Foundation series.
And that makes so much sense because Foundation represent the elites that are from that dimension, that are the fallen angels. They were 15 foot tall. In Foundation, they even show you Empire is his name, which are really 3 clones. There's one called Dawn, Day, and Dusk. And Day is the one in the middle that runs everything. Dusk, but they're all 3 clones of the same person. It's so bizarre, dude. And they have the 8-pointed star everywhere throughout it. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. And what was the other one that had the connection to the 8-pointed star? There was another movie I recently watched. I can't remember off the top of my head though. I'll have to go back and look. I'm gonna put together one, bro, on all the symbolism connected to that 8-pointed star. And for my people that's new here, you're probably like, what the hell is Tommy talking about? 8-pointed stars and shit. Let me show you.
And you said this is in the Barbie movie too?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Look at this. See this star? It's the 8-pointed star. It's on the Pope's coat of arms. The Nibiru was called the crossing. The cross represents Nibiru. The 8-pointed star represents Nibiru. You know, it's also connected to CERN. CERN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. It's an ancient Stargate technology, and the 8-pointed star is 888, matching CERN particle physics, Architects of Society, the Synagogue of Satan, the Rosicrucian Order, and Masonic organization. Now, why does that really matter? Well, let me show you real quick. Let me show you.
I wonder if that star shows up in Prometheus too, because at the very beginning they're showing all those star systems and how they relate to these various cultures.
Oh, I bet it does. And back to the X symbolism. Are they talking about Planet X? Ani caught this. Twitter X rebranding was 888 weeks after Twitter launched. Prominent Freemason Albert Pike died a span of 80 years and 88 days. The Freemasons 888, Masonic energy, alphanumeric code, you know? So that's the number of the Antichrist, guys. And with the Star of Anana, the 8-pointed star is a symbol that is deeply connected to hidden agendas of the elites. It is not just a random symbol that they use for decoration. The 8 points represents the 8 dimensions of space and time that exist in, what they call the universe. And Nibiru is the key to unlocking them. The elites know that Nibiru is not a planet, but rather a portal to another dimension. CERN, the Vatican, other powerful organizations use the 8-pointed star as a symbol of their allegiance to the hidden agenda. CERN uses the 8 bars is a clear indication that they are trying to harness the power of Nibiru and open up portals to the other dimensions. The Vatican uses the 8 spokes on the wheel. So, that's what they're doing, guys. They're trying to open this shit up. And what's 888 add up to? 24. The X. The number 24 represents Jupiter too, and the Omega event that's coming, which I think is connected to this plasma apocalypse, this Phoenix phenomenon, this opening of the portal, which all the movies right now are pretty much about. Now let's go back to they cloned Tyrone.
Well, before, really quick too, I wanted to mention on that last slide where you showed the X next to each other. I don't know if you've seen this picture. My friend Cheney had put together, but if you zoom in on a Masonic compass, like one part of it looks like a ruler, right? And the other part is like the sharp point of the compass. And if you zoom in and crop it, it looks just like that little X there.
It's really a sine wave. The Masonic compass. You know that, right?
I've never heard that before. No, that makes sense.
Oh, you don't? Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Because the sine wave, you would just rotate it 180 and then 180 back every once in a while. That would create a perfect sine wave.
And sine wave.
So before we start getting into pre-calc, because I don't want to go back and have nightmares about how math will work.
No, just real quick. And that's connected to Saturn, bro. The sine waves are. You never heard of that either?
I haven't heard of that, no.
Yeah, it definitely is. But we were born.
I would like to do a show on that.
We were born into sin. We were born into sine waves. Hold on. So we'll just show this real quick, and then I'm gonna let you start your decode on
Tyrone.
Yeah, Tyrone. Okay, where's the one I wanted to show you? Because it looks so much like a Masonic compass. It's freaking nuts. That's where they get it from. A part of it, anyways. The sine wave, which is the serpent. These sine waves. Okay, here we go. Let me show you this real fast. I can just screen grab it.
The sine wave is interesting to me because it represents sort of artificial noise, right? Or like an artificial sound, because nothing in nature really produces a perfect sine wave. Outside of, I mean, if you want to get into like crystalline structures that are vibrating, but organic material doesn't naturally produce sine waves, so it's a
Yeah,
mark of artificial.
it's some type of frequency, bro, getting set off of Saturn. So it's that false frequency that they got us trapped in. And I got some really interesting little things here I want to show you real fast, and then we'll get into it just for the
and
new people because they have no
and
idea what the hell we're talking about.
and sine waves are the basis for pretty much all of electronic music, either through additive or subtractive synthesis. I mean, there's like sine wave and sawtooth and square wave, but sine wave is essentially the building block of synthetic audio.
For real?
Yeah.
Now, this I did not know. That makes sense, though. Look,
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the East Coast, it was more about additive synth, I believe, and then the West Coast was about subtractive synth.
we were born, the serpent in the sine wave. We were born into sin. We were born into the sine wave, where the Freemasonic compass looks just like that damn thing connected to Saturn. Did you ever see these? They got these Masonic rituals, specifically ceremonies concluded in accordance with the rite of lodge initiation, the incorporation of miniature black cubes during the course of such. That is that something, or is that something one of these idiots put on the internet?
Well, there's the term of blackballing someone, um, but I don't know about a black cube.
Well, this is the sigil of Saturn, which it produces a unique symmetric pattern, which is very similar to what
Yeah,
we call.
I'm familiar with this one because that basically that magic square right there is a square of Saturn, and a
Yeah,
lot of like Enochian magic and sigils. Sometimes they will just trace that number or much bigger ones. There's like every planet has its own little number square, just like this one. But yeah,
yeah.
this particular square of Saturn is, I think this one might be referenced in Tenet too, or whatever Tenet was is another planet that relates to this one, the movie Tenet.
Oh, okay. Oh, Tenet was phenomenal.
Mm. That's
Did you
another
like?
magic square. Because Tenet is a 5x5 square, right? Tenet. And if you put it in any order, it's basically like a magic square, same as abracadabra forms, I think,
Yeah,
like a magical pyramid.
we got to do Tenet, bro, but we got to do it to where we can show long clips of it. So we'll have to stream it to like our Rumbles because they won't turn it off for that.
Yeah, that,
Uh,
or we could filter it through AI or something. I don't know. I've got some ideas cooking.
yeah, we'll figure it out. So let's start with your decode on the
So
Cloned Tyrone. Which
yeah,
slide do you do first? Part
Well,
one?
well, I want to break the movie down really quick. I don't have the slides for my breakdown of the intro, but I got a couple of notes, and then I'll my slides are kind of about the whole movie as a whole, especially when we find out what's going on towards the end. But
All right.
the very beginning, it opens up, and I'm big on music, right? Like I kind of like started into creative endeavors through music, so I always feel that what a movie selects as its soundtrack is incredibly important, especially if they actually care about it. And this when it starts out, and the lyrics, they don't put anything else on the screen, so you're focused just on what you're hearing, and it says, "Looking at you, talking to you, touching on you." And to me, immediately, I was just thinking, okay, so that's talking about looking at you. They're going to give us some visual, some auditory, and some like physical illusions. And that's what it's going to be about. And the second that we actually start seeing the characters on the screen, you see that he's like stealing from a drug dealer, but then he immediately goes to a gas station. And as he walks into this gas station, it's just absolutely covered with nothing but beer and cigarette and lotto ticket ads. And sure enough, when he goes inside, he buys all three of those. He buys beer, cigarettes, and a lottery ticket. And you can just see that, like, this is the programming. Because, like, as he's going into the store, everything out there, it's like NLP tactics, is telling him, buy cigarettes, buy beer, buy lottery tickets. And he does those exact things. And then as soon as he comes out, he talks to this old man named Frog, who becomes this almost like Groundhog Day repeating element in his daily life. And the very first thing that he says, he was like, hey, it's in the water, young blood. And when he says that, they're both drinking alcohol, right? He's got a 40, and then he pours a little out for Frog. And the
Yep.
first thing I thought of there was like, okay, they're actually going to end up surviving or somehow because they're not drinking water, they're drinking alcohol. And that has like two different symbolic references. One is that in a lot of previous times when there was like sicknesses going around, people would just not trust the water supply and drink beer or drink wine or drink spirits. And then there's also that aspect of like inebriation, that if you're inebriated, then you've got alcohol or drugs or something else in your system that affects you in a way that AI maybe can't predict because it's not logical. It's an organic process. So my like red flag always goes up when alcohol gets involved as like a thing that's hacking the system a little bit. And I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, that's very interesting. What's his name? I can never pronounce that dude's name. And
Fontaine. That's the
okay,
main character's name is Fontaine.
which is also connected to the Knights Templars.
Yeah, one
Fontaine.
of the members was also named Fontaine.
Yeah. Donut broke that down. Shout out to Donut Factory. He's got an amazing new video up, guys, on his Patreon. He did the breakdown of the worms, a full documentary. It was actually edited professionally. It's amazing. And you can find that on Donut's Patreon. It's also on my Diamond members. So it's on truthfultv.com, and it'll be part of the membership on truthmafia.com. You'll have a new video every week from this point out that will be very exclusive. And to BORO, my brother here, buddy, I decode world events every day. Do you not follow me on Instagram? Do you not follow truthmafia.com, brother? Just because I might not do a live on it, it just, I got other things that I'm interested in. But if there's something you want me to decode, like you asked me to decode Grease on Fire, so I will do that for you. But
Grease
yeah,
fire is never a good fire.
No. It just gets it gets repetitive after a while. I like to switch it up for my people. They don't want to hear constantly all the negative shit. And the most requested thing I get is my movie decodes. That's what everybody loves. That's why
because you can kick your feet back a little bit and talk about entertainment, but then also bring it into serious topics, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we started this whole thing. And that's what made me blow up the way I did, was my movie decodes and breakdown. But I'm still doing stuff that's happening in the world. Yes, 100% I am. Good afternoon to this young lady too. Beautiful young lady. Okay, go ahead, Paranoid. I apologize.
You're good, because that was my breakdown of the intro. And then I would say the next big act, if you were to break the story into acts, is then another spoiler, of course, but the dude dies. The guy's playing Fontaine. And
Man,
this was more of like a stylistic thing that I noticed. But as he's walking in to see Jamie Foxx, who's the pimp, he's looking around this like parking lot, and the parking lot has all of these neon lights that are kind of like about eye level. So as the camera rotates, it looks like he's getting shot by all these like red laser beams. And this is the guy that was in the Star Wars movie. So I almost felt like, oh, this guy's about to get shot, because they clearly showed all these like red darts just like constantly hitting him, the way that the camera work was moving around him. So and
wow.
of course they kill him, and then it turns into Groundhog's Day, which it buys me points, because I just I don't care how predictable they are. I love the movies where it just like starts back over and you get to see the day again, and they get to like start hacking it apart, because when the day starts off again, you see that he goes through the exact same process, except when he comes out, the old man always has something a little bit different to say. And again, I think that backs up my theory that it's the alcohol that's letting them sort of like change their behavior a little bit in a way that the system doesn't predict. And he says at that point, they see someone get snatched off the street, and he goes, oh, he's off to see the wizard again. So now you know that there's definitely some kind of a central authority, like someone that's running the show, that this old dude is calling the wizard. And you find out that they are indeed running the show. It's like a government operation.
And he says, when they come back to him and ask the old man where to find these people, he says, when you're trying to get out of Babylon, where do you go? And
Yeah,
they say church. Well, what church? There's all these churches around here. And it was Mount Zion
that's right.
Church. Yeah, man. I caught that too. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Mount Zion. Yeah, so there's like all these little detective clues, which ties it back to that hidden staircase because that was a Nancy Drew novel. So they start taking on this kind of like investigative, like detective work. And there was another like interesting thing that they started up is the old man started saying straighter is greater. And at first I didn't know what the hell that meant, but you learn over the process of the movie that they're putting things into the water supply, they're putting things into the food, and they're putting things into the hair straightener. And that when people put the hair straightener on their head, that it's basically seeping into their heads and causing them to just react in these very predictable ways. So yeah, someone was
Yes.
saying in the comments, MK Ultra programming, 100%. Like I really do believe that this movie, it shows MK Ultra programming as if it was like happening in a food supply and happening like on a physical thing you put on your body. But you could rewatch this and just imagine that everything that's happening, like people eating something, that's really just them like consuming media and consuming the programming that's around them, and not necessarily a one-for-one story about everyone's a clone.
Yeah, it's how about the part, bro, where like they're all attacking the car, and Fontaine knows he's a clone, but Jamie Foxx's character does not know he's a clone yet. And then that white dude pulls up that was in Lost Boys, the leader with the blonde hair.
He's the wizard. Yeah, when he said they're off to see the wizard, that dude's the wizard because he's like the middle management for this particular city that they live under. And then you find out that there's a whole, like every single major city has a huge collection of clones underneath it. And he starts, I kind of love this trope too, where the evil mastermind starts breaking down and explaining his plan to the good guys. And he tells them that they're all clones underneath the cities because they need to keep the property and like the real estate prices in check so that not every single place in the city can be a nice place, because that throws off the balance. So that all of these people, Fontaine and the pimp and everybody else that's a clone, they exist there simply to just raise the crime rate of certain areas, just to make it more undesirable in that place and other places. And
Yep.
that's where all my slides come in, because I feel like this is true MK Ultra programming that they're tipping their hat at. And unless you really read into this and know what they're saying, you might just like bypass it and think it's just about clones the whole time.
Yeah, there's so much crazy connections in it. It's actually pretty freaking interesting to say the least. But remember when he got Fontaine to put the gun in his mouth and like he couldn't
Yeah.
even control himself. He just did it. That's part of mind control, trauma-based mind control. I'm looking for this one slide I have which shows the connection. You guys got to go on truthmafia.com, watch the videos I did on this, okay? Because the videos show the connection to damn, I completely forgot what I was talking about. What was I just saying, bro?
You were going to talk about some kind of connection.
Oh man, it totally slipped my mind.
Well, I would say someone asked in the comments, how does Fontaine know that he's a clone? Julie asked that. And it's because this white dude, the wizard, he tells him that he's a clone, and he forces him to put a gun in his own mouth. And then later on in the movie, he
he
sees
found
his
out
own
before
copy.
that.
Yeah, well, he sees a version of himself right up front. But I think that he dies right after that, and then he gets kind of reborn in his Groundhog's Day. And when they get reborn, I guess they forget some of what happened to them previously. So that's kind of the movie, is slowly trying to figure out. And then at one point he gets smart enough to like fake his death so that when they think he's being reborn, he kind of was like still alive, which is that's another symbolism of like, that's true immortality. If you can just pass on all your knowledge to another body and start over, that's immortality.
Yes, I remember now what I wanted to show them. Okay. So it's connected to Get Out. It's connected to the movie Get Out. So most people would have no idea about that. And what I'm going to do is real quick before Paranoid American gets into his breakdown, I want to share this with you really fast, guys. Okay. So let me show you this. Right? So mind control ray inducing perversion equals 2338. From the release of the movie Get Out until the release of They Cloned Tyrone is 2,338 days. Now, that is very interesting because that perversion, mind control ray inducing perversion, is similar to what is shown in the scene where the character's eyes are forcibly open to watch disturbing content. And I will show you the clip of that real quick. I got to be
that
careful.
was a nod to the Clockwork Orange treatment.
Dude, that was so bizarre. Federal fair use. I got some good clips in here I can go through. If I don't play it, I just go through it like this. So right here is where they're, after he dies, they're reprogramming his memories. So with consciousness transfer, where they go in through the eye socket with that black goo, it wraps around the optic nerve, taking over the consciousness of the host, and the black goo is a storehouse for demonic consciousness. Again, it's quantum entanglement. It's entangling your DNA with that of an entity in another dimension. But they've been transferring consciousness from one host to another, I believe, for hundreds of years, the elites. Okay, hold on, let me go back. Right here. They Cloned Tyrone equals 208. That was the address in the movie Get Out. And it's connected to that ray-inducing perversion. Yeah, it's pretty freaking interesting. And
they've got a very similar theory to it too. Sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something on this.
Right here is where he finds the little button to open the cloning center, and look what's there: IHS, ISIS, Horus, and Set Jesuits. So it shows you who is in control of the underground cloning centers. And see, that's the pew it lifts up. They go down, and this is where they start to see, oh man, we're clones. You know, you can watch this over on truthmafia.com with several other videos. Hold on a second. Then right here, there's letters on the wall. See, these letters on the wall, which is 130, 31, and 60. That equals up to 221, Agenda 21's code. And flip 221 around, what do you got? 122, the longitude and latitude of San Francisco. This movie ran for 122 minutes. And all the Twitter shit with the X code, where's Twitter founded at? San Francisco. That's where they're going to bring down the you-know-what, the Golden Gates, and bring forth Osiris. See, they're down here testing on people, trying to find the ray.
There's that MKUltra for sure.
Yeah, there's this one, though, that... Here it is. So, right here, look how they got the guy's eyes open. See that? They're making him watch all this crazy stuff. That's the ray-induced perversion that it lines up with. If you trace from the day it came out, matching the day Get Out came out, connected to the day They Cloned Tyrone Get Out. And listen, they're listening to music here, Kill a Mother Effer, right? And they're trying to like literally beat each other to death. And then they play this other song, I Need a Hug, and they start hugging each other.
Well, and after that one, they play one that's just saying around and around. And to me, that was like the hypnosis aspect of it, because as they're saying around and around, and people are like moving their fingers around, and someone's got a drink and they're slushing the drink around, and then it just puts everybody into this sort of like delta wave, right? It just immediately puts them into this hypnotic trance. And that, I think, is very real. Like, that's absolutely true, where you 100%. Can change the entire sentiment of a crowd just by playing different types of music. Even in, I think in like ancient times, like the Pythagoreans, they had banned certain tonalities. Like you weren't even allowed to play certain scales of music because they knew of how much of a strong impact it would have on the society.
Now, here's the scene you were talking about. After he dies, he goes to the store the next day, does the same routine. He sees this guy walking down the street, dying pretty much, blood all over him. And this black SUV pulls up, snatches him up, and takes him. And that's when that old dude says, "Off to see the wizard." This guy back here, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. That's what I thought of.
The old man frog.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's super chill. But yeah, I did this the first day it came out, dude, before anyone dropped anything. I did this on the bootleg version I told you to watch. Now, what are they doing? They're in the chicken store. Everybody starts laughing. When they first went down into the cloning center and found out the main star was a clone, Jamie Foxx starts snorting this white powder. He thought it's Padico, yayo, but it wasn't. It ends up being some type of stuff they're putting in the chicken, the hair dye, and they just start laughing. So he starts laughing uncontrollably. He accidentally shoots the white dude with the afro. And another thing, every cloning center has a white dude with an afro. Now, they're showing you a certain race there, which is Jewish. That's what they're depicting. That's what it is. I'm telling you. And, I'm not going to touch too much on that, but that is what they're showing you. Now, right here, we know that we're coming up to an election cycle. So they're going to use divide and conquer. This movie, if I was melanated and I watched this, oh my God, I'd want to go out and I'm not even going to say what I would want to do, but it would be bad. And that's what they're hoping for as we're coming to another election cycle. Because if we're at each other's throats, white, black, Republican, Democrat, it's easier to control us. You understand? So we have to stay unified. See, there's the white dude with the fro. He's everywhere. There's an 8 right there too, an Ouroboros. That's when they go say, open the damn elevator, and they go down in and storm the whole situation. Then at the end, bro, look, at the end, you got the 33, 3 and 3 right there. And this dude comes up and is like, hell no, they out here cloning motherfuckers. Remember that? That was my favorite part. I loved it. He runs right in front of the camera. They out here cloning motherfuckers, which, they wouldn't even apologize to us, all of us that they've told are conspiracy theorists. They just, like with the alien thing, I'm not saying, I don't think aliens are real. I think they're interdimensional fallen angelic entities. But with that whole thing, they haven't come out and said, hey, by the way, for everyone that we was saying is a conspiracy nut job, we're sorry. Now we're saying they're real, which this is just rebranding, guys. It's rebranding for the fallen angels. That's why they're calling them aliens. And on this post, it shocked me to my core. UFO whistleblower testifies before Congress. You need to watch this, because in it, I put a video about the ancient Stargate technology and what this is all linked to. And in this video, it gets into Dagon, the reptilians they're worshiping from the Bible, interdimensional gateways opening up, and also gets into, damn, it's just showing the same thing there now. Hold on a second. There we go. This guy talking, he breaks it down, guys, what these reptilians are, these unclean creatures. He talks about Dagon, his dimensions, the one above us, the one below us. And it's pretty crazy. Paranoid American, you should actually watch these ones. And then they're serpents is what they are. He quotes Bible scripture throughout the whole thing, connecting it to these interdimensional serpents.
What's it
And
got to do with Alex Jones? Because it says Alex Jones releases. Is that his video or is that something
no,
unrelated?
yeah, this is a whole different video below it.
Okay.
This is Alex Jones was talking about the secret of off-world alien invasion and stuff. I included that because it was the trending story of the day. And David Icke did a video on it. I was just showing them the different videos were done on it and the Bible verses that talk about these entities, right? The fleeing of the serpent Leviathan.
Yeah, one
That's
of my
this.
favorite memes that I've seen recently, it was like it's starting to come out where the first one it's this alien talking, and then the second one it's like a human responding to the alien. And in the first one he was like, I come in peace. And in the second one, the dude was like, I know what you are. Like implying like I know you're a demon.
Yep. Oh, I bet. And I know what they are too, dude. I've had these little fuckers try to attack me in my room before. I thought they were shadow people. It was so bizarre, dude, but I couldn't breathe. I had sleep paralysis and they were like, I just felt my chest getting crushed and I could see their figure, but I couldn't see them, but I could tell they had that like mantis looking body. It was fucking bizarre.
Have you
And
seen
back
those old paintings where it's like a demon sitting on somebody's chest while they're sleeping?
Yes, that's what I was thinking about too. They're like trying to steal our energy or something, dude. And this one is the most important. Revelation 16 through 12. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great Euphrates River, and its water was dried up. This is happening right now to prepare the way for the kings from the east. This is Putin, Kim Jong, whatever the fuck, and the Chinese leaders. Them are the kings of the East that come together to fight this great Armageddon war. And I saw coming out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet 3 unclean spirits that look like frogs. Huh. What do you think he's talking about? You know what I'm saying? And that all connects to Dagon too, that verse. Like this video up here, guys, is so educational and it breaks it all down. I was really proud of my editing skills I did with this one. So check that out. In the beginning, it's talking about CERN, the breakdown of Dagon, the Stargates, and some of these images in the beginning, the first 50 seconds, they're AI generated. It's just to lay the storyline to get you thinking about what these Stargates would look like. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That predictive programming. And before we move on from Tyrone, I think my slides will build on what you were saying at the end there too.
Okay, let's start with the first one, right?
Yeah, so this is what was reminding me, not just MKUltra and Project Monarch, but inside of the book Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper, who's a super OG conspiracy theorist. There was a version of this book that had silent weapons for quiet wars in it. And if no one's ever heard of this before, there's kind of a rumor that somebody bought an old Xerox machine from a government auction where like they liquidate, an old government facility and sell off everything that was inside. And that the person that purchased the Xerox machine found this series of papers inside of it, so that the inside of it had this 12-page document called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And instead of trying to read the entire thing out, I've got some of like the key parts of it. So remember what the whole point of this movie is that they wanted to have these clones that would act in a very specific way and basically drive down the real estate value. So they were just injecting crime into the city through these clones. So what Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars does is they say that right here in the study of energy systems, there's always appears 3 elementary concepts: potential energy, kinetic energy, and energy dissipation. And corresponding to these concepts, there's 3 idolized, essentially pure physical counterparts. And the way that they describe that is that if you're in an economic system, the capital, right, like the money, the stock, the inventory, the physical goods, those durables, that's what you would call like an electronic capacitor. And then a conductor are the goods. This is like the the stores that facilitate things that are getting traded. That's the actual conductor. And then you've got the inductor, which is where they were saying energy dissipation. And this is when people actually utilize these services, and then it influences the population. So what they're doing in this little book here of Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, they're saying you can take energy the same way that energy works on a circuit board, and the same way that you would wire up energy in your house. It always operates by these very specific rules, and that those rules can be applied not just to economics, but to politics and into society. So the next slide shows a couple of the other main sort of quotes out of this little, this like rumored Xerox discovery, I guess.
This one or another one?
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
I had two of them ones. That's why.
So this one right here is on the second page, and it says theoretical introduction. Give me control over a nation's currency, and I care who not makes its laws. That's the OG Rothschild, the father of the Rothschild dynasty. And it was rumored that this Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars was based on his research. So it says right there, his big discovery is that what Mr. Rothschild discovered was the basic principle of power, influence, and control over people as applied to economics. And that principle is that when you assume the appearance of power, people soon give it to you. So this is where we're getting into like hypnosis, programming, just sort of like, you know, slip of the tongue. So just by presenting yourself as a certain thing, this is almost sympathetic magic, right? As above, so below. If you present this way on the exoteric, you hope to kind of become it on the inside in the esoteric. So
he's got that iron cross on his chest too. Look.
Oh, I mean, dude, this is the OG Rothschild. So if anyone's gonna have being dreamt in symbolism, it's gonna be him.
That's crazy. And that was throughout it's just so prevalent right now. The X and the damn Knights Templar cross. And when you study that iron cross, it goes all the way back to Nibiru in the Anunnaki bloodlines, the royalty lines, which we could call the Watchers, the Fallen Angels, whatever. But are you ready for the next slide, brother?
Yeah. So this one is where they're breaking it down into like, just like they cloned Tyrone, right? They're clones, they're being programmed, they follow this very exact formula, and they live the same lies over and over. And even at the end of the movie, they show in another city they act the exact same ways. They just happen to have different hairstyles and maybe different slang. So this Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars document, it breaks down what they call a list of inputs. This is every single thing that can influence a person, and it's very general. But it's, first of all, the questions of what, when, where, how, why, who. These things are what kind of like drives the very basic building blocks of what goes through our minds. And then they talk about where you can get this information from people: telephone taps, surveillance, analysis of garbage, behavior in children at school. And again, this was supposed to have been written in like the 70s or 80s. So this would have been before any sort of like AI and Facebook's tracking you. So you got to realize how advanced this information was for the time that they found it. Standard of living, these are things that control how you actually interact with the world, and then your social contacts. So it's just like, again, just like it says, a short list of inputs. If you were to see a human person as like hardware or software, these are the inputs that you would provide to it. And then the next slide shows, I think, some of the outputs. So again, if you're looking at like human beings, if they were, you know, just like software. So those are the inputs. And then here's the other paper trail. So if you wanted to actually figure out like what a person constitutes them, this is what AI does, right? Everything on the right side: checking accounts, credit card purchases, real estate, stock market, creditors, loans. This is the stuff that happens automatically to us online now. So it's, I mean, it looks like the formula has just kind of been automated. And then the next slide, I think there's like 2 or 3 more. This one right here shows you the exact desired outcome and how to get it. So for example, if you want to keep the public ignorant, then you have to have less public organization, less unions, less gatherings, less protests. If you want to attack the family unit, you have to control the education of the young. If you want to social conformity, computer programming simplicity. So they're just talking about if you want society to conform to rules, then you basically have to set up the rules as if it were a computer program. And again, it's nuts that someone just found this in a Xerox machine in the 80s. And then is there one more? Or is that the end of them?
No, there's another one.
And then this is how they do it. So if you wanted to do those things, if the media keep adult public attention diverted away from real social issues and captivated by matters of no importance. School, keep the young public ignorant of real mathematics, real economics, real law, and real history. Entertainment, keep the public entertainment below a 6th grade level. Work, keep the public busy, busy, busy with no time to think. Back on the farm with the other animals. And so this is the way that the rest of the document is sort of written. It's written as if people are just cattle. So this is kind of how they look at us. And this was the instruction manual for here's how you can operate a society. And is there anything else after that, or is this the last one?
Let me see, brother. I think there's one more.
Oh yeah, there were so many other parts of this that I wanted to highlight. There's another one where they explain how, just like in the Cloned Tyrone, if they want to raise the value of a certain area, they'll just drive crime away from it. And the way that they drive crime away from it is ironically by enforcing crime less. They just send the cops out less and they bust them less. And that actually causes less stress in an entire community. And therefore they stop breaking into places. But by having the cops crack down harder, it actually increases the amount of crime in an area. And by doing that, you can lower the property prices and just kind of like shift the energy of a city around. And the very end of Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, to tie that back into the whole cloning facility, they actually have something called an artificial womb. And it says that they basically want to create these artificial wombs to provide stable environments for both stable and unstable activity. It provides a shelter for the evolutionary process of growth and maturity, provides security for freedom and defense protection for. So this is basically talking about making sure that you feel safe in maybe a 15-minute city in your little pod, in your little, safe car that you don't actually own, that the government drives around for you. That's the end goal, because if they can make you feel safe in this little artificial womb, maybe that's you jacked in to like the VR metaverse. But once they get you there, now they've got full control, and there's really nothing else that they would have to do beyond this. So this is kind of like the end goal.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, these people are out of their freaking minds, ain't they, dude?
And if you want to read more about that, that's in Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. It's just one of the many chapters in that book.
Oh, yeah, that was a great book. I don't think a lot of these younger people really know about it, but it's phenomenal. Now, guys, over on truthfultv.com in our Diamond members group, first of all, here's Donuts documentary, so you can watch that over here once you join in. But here's Paranoid. I told you someone shared your thing, Paranoid.
Oh, yeah, shout out whoever shared that. Thank you.
Yeah, she's cool as fuck. I think I still got to do her decode. I wrote a thing about astral projection, guys, and I wrote the breakdown to it, right? All the steps to astral projection. And right here is the CIA document that was top secret on astral projection. 1966. Oh shit, that's the year the Church of Satan came out. But
does the URL at the top say Abbottabad anywhere in it? Do you know?
It says CIA.gov reading room docs.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting read. Have you ever read this one, Paranoid American?
No, that's why I was asking that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And like I said, you'll see it on the Diamond membership group. And I'll actually share this same thing to the free group as well, guys. So you can check it out over there, because we have multiple different groups over here. And I took down a lot of the groups because I'm mainstreaming them. So I had way too many freaking groups up there. So we took some of them down. The diamond membership will always be there. Truth book, I'm thinking right now which one I should keep, Truth book or Truthful TV, and or merge them two together. And then the 10-day meditation program, we keep that. But also, we're going to move Conspiracy Cinema Podcast, that membership, over to truthmafia.com. We're launching our membership on 8/8. And then the link in the description, you'll see Paranoid American's Patreon. Make sure you guys go check that out, because we'll be doing some exclusive stuff for that as well. And he works with many people on his Patreon, not just me. So you can find some really cool stuff over there. Now you want to go to this, see booking online. Click on booking online. This is just a normal astrology numerology reading. It's a 15-minute call. You don't get no slides, no graphs like you guys see how when I do my decodes, I put them on them slides. You get slides on this email one here. It's not a phone call. You email me everything. I decode it, email it back to you. It's pretty cool. Full breakdown, everything. Then the diamond membership gets you lifetime access to all the groups. So over here, whenever we share members only content, you'll have it. You just check the diamond group and it's there. And I also started this new one, Dream Interpretation, $11. I told you guys how I got my AI. It will search the whole internet for every variation of a dream interpretation. And an example of this is, show you this. I put this up earlier. Because it was who the hell is this? This ain't me. What in the hell is going on here? There I am.
You got a clone?
Yeah, there's so many fake Tommy Truthfuls, dude. My big account has 60,000 followers, and there's a fake one to that. It's got 500 followers. I'm like, how the hell would you guys think that is me? You know? But anyways, over here, we share a lot of stuff from Truth Mafia, so you guys can read the different things, and you can click on this and sign up for your dream decode. And my dream revolved around persistence reoccurrence, wherein I find myself awakening in a captivating location surrounding by jubilant revealers, engaged in an animated conversation with the captivating young lady at the party. She ends up always going to the corner where she starts to talk to these other gentlemen. There's 4 of them. And I can tell they keep looking over at me in the dream. So I can tell something's going on. You know, my spider senses start to tingle. And next thing I know, one of the dudes come over and tries to stab me with a knife. They're trying to get in my pockets, and I end up fighting with him. He cuts me a couple times. I get out the door, and I'm running through this. It's like a town, but it reminds me of a trailer park, but there's real houses in it. It's so bizarre. There's trailers in it too. And then at the front, there's always this cop up there. He's like the end boss. So as I'm running through it, people are coming out of the doors, guys, stabbing me, throwing shit at me. No, it's so bizarre, dude. There's always a dude with a pig mask. He has a full, like he chopped the pig's head off and he has it over his head. And he's huge, like 400 pounds, 6'7", like a damn Nephilim. So I kept having this reoccurring dream over and over and over again. And based on the description, this is the AI searched the whole internet to tell me what that means. And the town in your dream represents an unfamiliar or new environment in your waking life where you are trying to find your place or to fit in. The party symbolizes social interactions and the desire for connection. The girl you are talking to and her engagement with the other guys might suggest feelings of being left out or ignored in social situations. The act of being surrounded and threatened with a knife could symbolize feeling overwhelmed or under attack in certain aspects of your life. Running away from this danger signifies a desire to escape or avoid this threatening situation. So the people coming out of the doors and trying to grab you represents potential obstacles or challenges that arise that you are trying to navigate through. On a positive note, your ability to become aware in the dream and turn into a superhero suggests a degree of control you have in your dreams. This could indicate a sense of empowerment or self-confidence within you, destroying your attackers with your mind. I make all their heads blow up.
Yeah, you start lucid dreaming. Is that what that is?
Yeah. No, I knew I was dreaming, so I took over, dude.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I took over, and I made, and the end dude, he's a big police officer. I made his head blow. It was like boom, and then all of them chasing me start blowing up, and they, I wake up right there.
You should
But
make
it's
this a video game.
yeah, dude, it was crazy. But that AI broke that down pretty freaking detailed. And I went and searched the internet for people that are dream experts, and they couldn't even, break it down like that, bro. So you send me a detailed email, what your dream is, and within 24 hours, I'll send you back a full breakdown. Now, I'll also look at the numbers of your dream and decode that aspect of it too. So we'll add that in there. But yeah, it's just another tool at our disposal. It's pretty awesome. And look, guys, I wish I could do all that stuff for free, but I have 4 children, and my time is money, so I do a lot for free. 99% of the content I put out is free. We gotta at least make a living, and we're not selling our people out like most of these people. They literally sell their followers out, to take the little money or whatever bullshit deal they got. And one thing you'll know if you're new here with me, I always tell people, when you follow me for a while, you'll know I'm real because they'll start hacking your phone. They'll run a frequency through your phone when you're holding it, watching this live. You'll notice your hands tingling, weird shit starts to happen. And your phone, certain things will stop working. You might try to watch a video or do a Facebook post. Shit just stops working. When you're commenting in the comments, you don't see your name like you're supposed to. You see your phone number and email. That's Facebook track tracing and tagging your ass. And tell me if I'm lying, guys. People in the comments. How many
You're
of
not
you
lying, dude. It's like doing cast with you sometimes. It's like the opposite of Geek Squad. Like shit just starts breaking.
Yeah, dude. Paranoid Americans thing started breaking, and you got to factory reset your phone or your computer. Get you a little scan disk where you can put all your stuff on. That way you don't lose it, and you can take that out, factory reset your shit, and then upload it back. Because I have to do it at least once a week, guys. I factory reset my computer once a week. It's just part of the game, If you're really trying to be a truther or find out the real information, that's what you're going to have to do. So you got to figure, how much do I want this? How much do I want to know the truth? But
if you're real hardcore, you air gap all your stuff. So an air gap is basically a computer that's never touched the internet for any reason, not for an update, not to check email, nothing. And that's usually the safest place to keep things.
What's that, buddy?
An air gap computer. It's one that has never been online.
Look at all these people banned in communities. They can't post because of me, and it hurts I'm like, damn, I feel bad for it, but it's not me doing it. It's bitch ass Facebook. It's like, what the hell, man? They should not be tracking, tracing, and tagging my people. We need to come together, guys, and file a massive class action lawsuit. I already sued them on my own. That's still in the works. But we could file a massive class action and all show proof what they're doing. You guys start screen recording where your name's coming up in your email instead of not your name. I mean, your email and your phone numbers coming up instead of your name when you comment. That's crazy. That's the first thing I caught them doing, bro. and they were doing it. It happened to me. I was on Facebook Lives, and every time I commented, it would show my damn email and phone number. I'm like, what the hell is this?
You're
When I used,
doxing you.
yeah, when I used to, that's exactly what I felt they were doing. But when I used to comment, it would just say my handle, you know? So, yeah, man, real life Black Mirror shit is going on, which moves us to the second and last part of our episode.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna knock these out too. Yeah, this is the double feature episode. That's right. So
Yes, the
we already talked about Jonah's Awful, so I kind of want to skip that one since we can go back and watch a few of the videos that we did on that. I think we talked about that with Donut too previously.
Yeah. Well, ain't we going to focus on the last one?
Yeah, so the last one was called Demon 79. And this is the one that I thought had the most to decode at you. And you might be able to pick up on some of this because I think we probably took different notes of it. So and man, I've got the weirdest thread here, but it starts with this chick that's watching the song Rasputin that's on the TV. This is an actual song that came out in the 70s or 80s. And she goes to work and she's having these issues with like nationalism. It's like there's a weird political thing going on in the background. And then finally she ends up hurting herself and then opening this like secret drawer that's in a basement, and she gets some of her blood on this little token that's on the inside, and by doing that she opens and kind of awakens a demon that was inside of this talisman. And like a talisman basically just being any sort of object that you can draw in planetary or demonic spirits into an object and then kind of keep that object around. So when she does this, she invokes this demon that presents itself to her, and it's the demon called Gap, Gaap. And I hadn't heard of this one before because I'm not like a demonologist expert or anything, but I did know to look at the Lesser Keys of Solomon, because the Lesser Key of Solomon lists a whole bunch of different demons. And sure enough, when I looked up Gap, he is demon number 33 in the Lesser Key of Solomon. So I already knew that Tommy was gonna blow up when he found that out.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And that was a real demon, huh? And
There's a real demon.
Demon 79, murder is 79. In one of the ciphers, you know, so ABC murders is 79.
And I got some direct quote from the Lesser Key of Solomon, one of the translations. And this is talking about Gap, who is the demon that they focus on in this episode. And it says, he's a president. He's a mighty prince. He appears when the sun is in the southern sign and in a human shape. Go before him for great and mighty kings knowing philosophy, liberal sciences. He can cause love or hatred. He can make men insensible. He can teach you how to consecrate those things that belong to the dominion of Amon, his king. And he can deliver familiars out of custody of other magicians. And that most men speedily a kingdom another, and at pleasure of the exorcist. He rules 66 legions of spirits, and he was the order of potentates. So this guy Gap is like one of the major like boss demons essentially.
Wow. And Gap equals 223 in reverse satanic, matching FEMA. Or yes, FEMA. Yep, 223. And that's a Skull and Bones number. We're in the year 2023, which 223 is the reflection of what? 322. So they're getting ready to pull these FEMA camps, dude, and start rounding motherfuckers up. I'm telling you.
And it's nuts. You were just talking about your dreams and the astral projection, because the other note here, it says that Gap is a divinatory spirit and also one of astral and dreaming projection. The spirit teaches one how to consecrate. So he was basically a demon that was specific to astral projection and dream interpretation.
Are you kidding me?
And based then, on the yeah, go ahead.
Demons. Well, I'll come back to it. Never mind. Go ahead.
This is another account of Gap from the Testament of Solomon, another ancient book, and it says that there's a demon named Ornias that harasses a young man, and this guy is they say, quote, favored by Solomon, whatever that means. And it says that he steals half of his pay and sucks out his vitality through his thumb on his right hand. So then Solomon prays in his temple, and he receives from Archangel Michael a magic ring that has the seal of God in it, which is the shape of a pentagram, and that this ring is what lets him command demons. And he takes the ring and he lends it to this kid that he basically favored, and they throw the ring at the demon, and it basically stamps him with the steel, and it brings him under the control. So this Testament of Solomon is explaining how the ancients would actually utilize demons by basically taking these seals, these rings, and using them to physically sort of like take control over them. So this whole story of Demon 79 and Gap, it kind of paints it as though like the demon's telling the girl what to do, but really the girl is somewhat taking control over the demon and kind of becoming one with it, because at this point she's almost like making her body an acceptable vessel for this demon to come into, because the demon's just making itself shown however it needs to kind of like build rapport with this lady.
Yeah, it was interesting. And they try to make him very, you know, funny, and it kind of makes you want to like him by the end of it. You know what I mean?
Well, he was played by Jay Farrow from, I think he was on SNL for a while.
He's got a British accent and shit. It's like, whoa. But remember what he looks like when he first shows her his true self? It was scary as shit, bro.
Yeah, it reminded me, there's a scene in the Beetlejuice movie, it's my favorite, where they're like, hey, do you got anything more scary? And he shows them, and the way that the camera work is that you don't get to see what they're seeing, but you can clearly see that like there's something crazy going on. And it had something similar where he's like, oh, you guys couldn't handle me in my normal demon form, and it just shows the outline of some crazy, like, grotesque sort of creature.
Wow. Yeah, that to me is phenomenal. This was one that I didn't pay as much attention to because I fell asleep halfway through it. Yeah, but I liked it. It was a good one. I just accidentally fell asleep, and I'm so busy with my decodes, brother, and doing my readings and stuff. I just never had time. Like my work week, I added to the readings too, guys, an early day on Wednesday where you can get me from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I figured I would do that for my people across the sea and stuff because there was just no time for them. But yeah, man, I'm decoding. Some days, bro, I might have 30 decodes to do, 30 readings. So I do that. Then I'm putting out my content. It's a lot of work, you know? That's why usually, brother, on Saturday, my dumb ass ends up passing out on you because I worked all week. So what we'll do is, like you said, we're going to have a backlog in case we ever miss a Saturday. We just, bam, we upload that and premiere it.
Yeah, we'll have some in the chamber, and even for those ones, we'll probably be in the comments or whatever, like following along live and throwing out extra insight.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that because it's going to be cool, man. We got a lot of awesome things planned for this show, and I'm super excited about it. You know, we gotta stay with it and keep pushing. But I made this little slide while you were talking about Gap, so I want to share this with you real fast.
And I want to shout out too, while you're pulling that up, if you've got suggestions on specific movies or TV shows, whatever, yeah, drop them in the comments. And eventually on my Paranoid American Patreon, I'll have some kind of cool way to set up ways to like suggest specific movies or TV shows for us to go over.
Yeah, that'll be super cool too, guys. Like this, so you guys can tell us what movie you want us to decode, even if it's an older one that you want us to look into. I want to do Tenet. I want to do Tenet bad. That one is phenomenal, dude. It's kind of confusing at first, but this is the Demon Gap from Demon 79, and go figure, Demon 79 equals 24, X is 24. They changed their logo on the 24th day, right? And that is the main number to the York Rite Freemasons in 24 in Gematria. Gap, this demon right here, which equals 223, matching FEMA.
He kind of looks like a frog in that picture too.
Don't he?
Like a little
Look at
bat
her
frog.
eyes, dude. Look at her freaking eyes. He's like a weird looking demon. Demonic magic as well, as you can call him. Manual. What's it say? Gap is one of the principal kings that have power on the 72 demons supposedly contained by King Solomon. So he's one of the top dogs. He's up there with Beelzebub, which can possess you. They say in magic, guys, if you're going to play with Beelzebub, be very, very careful because he's a demon of possession. If you don't have your protection circle there, he will take you over. And these demons don't like being summoned because they're being controlled by the black magician. So the demon tries to set up a deal where in the end you lose your soul to it. If you read Manly P. Hall's work, it says it in the Teaching of All Ages, the demon will keep, causing you to end up losing your soul. You might think the deal that you made with it is perfect and you can complete it. And next thing you tells you, well, you got a part of our deal. You have to bring me a new soul every year. And it might want a child or one of your family members. So now if you don't do that, guess what? You lost your soul to it. So people are like treading water to stay above water that are dealing with these demons. And finally they just let go. That's a lot I could never sacrifice one of my friends or kids for power. That shit is crazy, man.
And a lot of people are asking what the frog means. Usually a frog in some types of symbolism it's a creature that can exist in the water and on land. It's got that amphibious aspect to it, which makes it unique. And it also kind of represents something that can exist in, say like dabbling into the astral realm and then dabbling into the physical realm. So it's kind of something that can fluently jump between those two. And then depending on how much you go into like the QAnon Keck stuff, but there really is something to the whole like Keck magic, I believe.
Oh yeah, Donut put it up and got his whole YouTube taken down. He put up a decode on that stupid frog. I told him not to do it. It's all plugged into AI and Tyler. And this upcoming 2024 eclipse goes right over where Tyler is in Texas, the artificial intelligence. That's what QAnon really was. It was ran by Michael Aquino for the military intelligence department to track, trace, and tag every Christian, conservative, and patriot on this planet. The people that they knew would stand up and try to fight the New World Order. So they came in, told you Trump's a good guy, Trump's a white hat. Don't worry. Trust the plan. Sit on your couch, sit back as we launch Starlink above your head, because we already know they're going to realize that the 5G is a weapon system. So then they're going to start, the towers are going to start coming down, but we got to get this shit up in the air. That's what Starlink's all about. It's going to be able to radiate death and destruction, unfortunately. And
remember they used to say TikTok a lot too. Like whenever they said something was going to be coming out, it was like, don't worry about it. Things are going to happen. It's going to happen any day now. And it would say TikTok. And that always reminded me, because the old hypnosis scenes, it was always someone with like a watch in front of you listening to the, almost like a grandfather clock, just going TikTok. So whenever someone says that, it's like enter a trance.
Yeah, and they never did anything they said. They always kept saying, oh, there's going to be military tribunals. Do you know these motherfuckers are talking about military tribunals 4 years later, bro? They're saying, oh, that person's dead in clone. That person's dead in clone. That person's dead in clone. The programming is so strong on Trump, he could come out on TV and say, I am a Satan worshiper and I am leading you all to your slaughter. And they would say, oh, no, that's a code. That's a code. He had to say that. That really means they're rescuing 30 kids in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? It's bizarre. It's like, whoa. It's crazy, man. I'm trying to read some of these comments. Yeah, they are definitely all together, unfortunately. And the cool thing is, not probably 90% of my people are ex-Trump supporters. And I woke them all up, dude, because I don't do it attacking them. I do bust balls a little bit. The alleged Trump supporters now are a bunch of Antifa members. They remind me of the far left, that body snatcher, scream at the top of your lungs if it doesn't go your way. They'll come and turn your YouTube page in if you talk about Trump. Conservatives do not do that at all. They would listen to what you're saying. If they don't agree with you, they agree to disagree like an adult. And we still can learn a lot from each other. What they don't do is go a 40-year-old man living in his mom's fucking basement doing rallies and shit, have all day to turn in each post of yours because you talked about their Trump. Trump was born during a blood moon over Jerusalem. He is nothing good, I promise you that. If anything, he has more aligned with the Antichrist than that whole dumbass Trump prophecy thing. But
it's interesting too that Trump basically comes from the word triumph, and a triumph wasn't just like the way that we look at it now, like an adjective. A triumph was basically like a military parade, and it was the way to like show off all of your force and your power and to garner sort of respect from the public. And that's kind of what Trump does, right? He just likes to show off and have people show respect. And he was the one that wanted to reinvigorate, law and order, and kind of like start pushing the military industrial complex a little bit more down the line. And it just fits perfectly with his last name of Triumph.
Okay, so we got one. We got a Q head. I'm going to show you some stuff, brother. And I'm going to show you this with all kindness. And if you still want to believe in it after, God's language is numbers. He shows you the truth through numbers, what you should follow, what you should not follow, okay? QAnon. This is part of the Noahide laws where they have to track, trace, and tag the Christians for the end days where they're going to try to chop our heads off. So let me show you this, bro. Let me show you this real quick. And I got the Noahide laws up on my old website. That means if you denounce Yeshua, or you denounce Jesus, or you say, I won't denounce Jesus Christ or Yeshua, guess what? Your head gets decapitated off your shoulders. And QAnon equals 666. Hate to burst your bubble. Yeah. It's a quantum computer named Tyler to track, trace, and tag us. I wish it wasn't. I really do, with all my heart, but it is. Hold on one second. Tommy Truthful.com. There we go. Yeah, this actually was put into public law. Just come over here, type in Noah. You'll see the Talmudic Noahide laws. Click on it. Now you'll find a picture of Trump signing this too. Bush signed it, Trump finalized it. And it was actually signed into law. Look, it's all about denouncing Yeshua and getting decapitated. And here's the law. 105 statute, 44th public law, the 102nd Congress. 102 is art of war. 9/11, the 102 minutes that changed America. What's the reflection of 102? Event 201, 201. So this is an actual thing that really went into law, and it states that if you use idolatry, you will be beheaded. And remember, that was in the Bible, guys. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead or in their hand. And they lived and reigned in Christ for 1,000 years. Now, a lot of this has to do with our inner Christos, unlocking our inner Christ. releasing the kundalini up the 33 vertebrae, connecting to our pineal gland, which is our spiritual antenna to the creator. They have used fluoride to calcify that and cut us off from the creator God. And this is real. This is real, guys. So you can take a look at it. It's over here on Tommy Truthful, the Talmudic Noahide laws. Don't believe me, go do some research on it on your own. I always tell people, don't ever believe me. Right here's the damn law. I don't lie, guys. I'm a lot of things, but a liar ain't one of them. Okay. I just want to save you guys and protect you and not see you get slaughtered from these people because they're misleading you. I swear, if I was even half not sure, I would never say that. But I promise you on my kids, Trump is not a white hat. There's no such thing as white hats in our government. White hats get murdered by the Clintons. And there's no military tribunals. There is FEMA camps, but that's for us. Guantanamo Bay, all you Trump supporters and me, I'll be down there with you. So they'll be taking us down there, I got a video documentary coming out on Tyler and breaking it down in full detail, what it is, the guy who exposed it, which he creates AI, and he said this is an artificial intelligence writing these Q posts. And he was 100% right. It's exactly what it is. Look at the quantum computer. The quantum computer, the D-Wave, what's it got on the side of it? A giant Q. Like people are, people just don't think, bro. When you're thinking one-dimensional, the government is thinking three-dimensional. They're 10 steps ahead of the average person. Yeah, me and Matrix Codebreaker 88, Angela, you know him. We're going to be working on a piece for the Tyler video and breakdown. That way people can find out who Tyler is, how it connects to Fight Club, because Tyler was the AI in Fight Club. Remember, he thought he was multiple people in Fight Club? He thought
Tyler Durden.
Yep. That's what it all ties back to that, dude. It all ties back to that.
That movie too is really good because it introduces people to the concept of subliminal messages with that one little frame that he puts in the movie. That was, for a lot of people, that was the first time that they realized that people actually do that.
Yeah, 100%. And Valerie, you know why I picked the number 26, honey? All my numbers add up to one number. The other one reading is 17. 7 plus 1 is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 attracts money. Now, the only one I don't do that with is dream interpretation. I use 1111 because that's part of manifestation connected to the dream realm, portals and stuff. So I believe there's a connection there when we're dreaming, going to other realities and so on. So even my prices have to do with some part of a numerology equation. But yeah, if you don't have it, that's cool. We put out tons of free content. You don't have to participate in it. This is just for the people that want to get their decode and want to, get a dream interpretation or whatever it is. What does this say? Don't buy it. Cash is under 100,000. What's that mean?
Yeah, well, because that's what gets you on start tracking. Like if you make large purchases, then even if it's in cash, they'll track you for it.
10,000 is what I've always heard. I can take 10 G's out the bank without it getting flagged.
Well, that's different than a retail environment too, though. Like if you go into a store and pay good money for anything, like they're gonna start tracking you from it.
Well, I'm a business, so I have a business account, everything. So it's a little different when you're a business. Look, I tell people this all the time. People are running around using their credit, dude. Millionaires and billionaires don't use their credit. They set up an LLC and they run all the credit through the LLC. So it's never connected to your actual name. You can get a business LLC and run all your credit through there. And you'll be surprised at the loans you'll get through them. But that's what the billionaires do. That's what the millionaires do. They don't spend their own money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's what Juan would call a corporate homunculus. You would create like this separate entity, and
Yep.
that represents the responsibility and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But that's how they set it up, dude. And now taxes too. I've been diving into taxes deep, Paranoid American. And I'm telling you right now, bro, as far as my research goes, they are voluntary. And I haven't paid them in 3 years, and I'm never
Oh
paying them.
shit! I wouldn't. We're
Yeah,
talking Minecraft. This
dude,
is
no, I'm talking real
theoretical.
life.
Oh,
They
God.
know, dude. They know what I make. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying them. I'm not paying them. All that shit gets ran through my PayPals and my banks. They know what the fuck I make. I'm not paying them shit. They don't deserve it. And it goes against my constitutional right. So, plus, when you're a business, you can write off 99% of that shit.
That is true. Especially if
So,
you've got like a multimedia business where you just need everything.
this girl said, why does people defend him so much? Talking about Trump.
I mean, I think it's because he was a catalyst that was needed by some people. So he was at least painted that way. He was painted as this outsider, although he was anything but an outsider, right? Like he's been an insider since the day that he was born. Even his uncle, John F. Trump, who worked for the FBI, who was the one that got the papers from Nikola Tesla because he was an engineer. Like he's been part of the deep state since before he was born. You know, he was just part of that. So, but I think that the way that they raised him, they turned him into a celebrity first, and they made him like a popular rich person because, I mean, outside of Trump, it wasn't very easy to be popular and be rich. You were just automatically looked at as sort of like, you know, like a Monty Burns bad guy. But Trump developed this weird sort of cult of personality around him. And you can tell, too, as soon as he got political, then all of a sudden he became religious. And it was never religious, anything close to it before then. And I really do personally think that Trump represents, that catalyst to get people to vote for him outside of what they perceive as the machine. But even more than that, Trump has kind of broken through and set up this new archetype of somebody that can go directly from industry and celebrity right into being the president. Because before Trump, even Ronald Reagan, even though Ronald Reagan had a Hollywood background, he also had history as a politician for like decades, right? But Trump goes directly from the entertainment industry directly into basically running the country. And I think that was just kind of the elites dipping their toe. They're like, do we even have to send our kids through college and make them go through politics, or can we just make them popular on TikTok and then get them in? And I think that they learned the answer to that question through Trump.
Yeah, now we'll have someone famous. I think maybe The Rock, or they might even come out with.
Oh yeah, dude, Rock. They were saying Oprah. They were saying like even like Michelle Obama. I think that the floodgates have opened now. Like if anyone can just vote on whoever their favorite celebrity is, we're going to be in for a wild ride. And I think that it's not like that position of president matters that much, but they can only reveal so much to us at a certain pace. Like you can't just let it all go at once. It's like the Fabian Society, right? You got to like enact things over generations, like a generational change.
Right. And I'll tell you what, Paranoid American, you were right when you said DoorDash doesn't have shit but trash food at this time of night. Because I'm looking on this shit right now, bro, and it is terrible.
You're going to get like an old sandwich that was like someone didn't pick it up at like 4:00 in the afternoon. So now you're going to get it.
Yeah. I can get hibachis to go, but they're pretty disgusting too. Yeah. So I didn't eat dinner today, guys. I slept all day, and then I didn't want to let Paranoid American down because I missed the last couple Saturdays.
I appreciate you, brother.
we don't call that gentleman, that name.
Oh, Michael, here. Big Mike. Yeah, sorry.
Hashtag Big Dick Jordan, or whatever the fuck he calls himself. I don't know. And then you got Big Dick Kalima. That's what I call her. Kamala. Kalima. That's what her name represents, really. She represents Kalima. And I think she'll be the first female president, just like on the House of Cards. The 46th president dies. His wife becomes the 47th first female president of the United States. If that did happen, even for like a week before Trump wins in 2024, that moves him to the 48th president. But everybody's connected Trump to the 47th. So I'm starting to wonder about that whole thing. But I know they're secretly hinting at a Kill King 33 ritual, and it's either going to be Trump or Biden. I mean, they showed us Trump on The Simpsons. They could probably get his followers to flip the fuck out if that happened. Oh,
I could see Trump way more than Biden, because the King Kill 33 ritual requires a transference of energy, and I don't think there's any energy in Joe Biden, not even in his cloned meat suit. I just don't think there's no like magical energy there to harvest.
I think he's AI, bro. I don't even think it's real. What do you think? You're a very expert in artificial intelligence. Do you feel he's AI?
I think that there's a strong case. I mean, and if you want to talk about clones, I think there's a way stronger case that Biden's got some body doubles than most of the celebrities.
What about Mitch McConnell? Did you see him freeze up on my Instagram?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell, the Feinstein, right? The same thing happened to I can't remember the Supreme Judge's name. Ginsburg, right? Was that her name?
Yep.
Judge Ginsburg, where like she was basically just on autopilot, and whoever was closest to her got to make the decisions for her. And you see that happen, I think, in a couple other politicians lately, where it was things Feinstein. They're just like, write this in this place on that paper. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. So I think that might be like the perfect state to have them in for anyone that wants to control. You don't have to have like MKUltra programming. You just wait for dementia to set in and just capitalize on it.
Well, Clinton did it too. Remember, Clinton was all messed up. In this video right here that they're not letting me click on, you can watch on my Instagram, guys. We're almost at 100K, thanks to all you guys. And Mitch McConnell, I never see a freeze up like this. It is unreal. And that video about Stargates is over. Damn, bitch got 1,400 likes already. I put this levitation video up too that shows how they really move these rocks via sound waves. So there's a lot of good information over here that I put up. This is the one where you don't got to pay your taxes. Watch this one. You'll understand why I don't pay them and I never will. Paranoid American, what is your IG? The link's in the description, but
it's just if you just type out Paranoid American, no spaces, no nothing.
Oh.
Sometimes you have to type out the entire thing because I'm been shadow banned since forever. There you go. If you don't type out the entire name, yeah, sometimes it never even shows up.
Yeah, we got our boy at 10,000 now. I remember, dude, one of my backup pages is at 10,000. My other backup page is like at a couple thousand. I got 3 of them.
It's not easy, man. You can see right there. I'm already getting my strikes on YouTube just for trying to upload a completely factual documentary.
Yeah, this video.
I got a strike for that one.
Did you ever get it uploaded to anywhere?
It's on Rumble. It's on Rockfin. I'll be putting it on BitChute eventually at some point. It's
on Rumble right now, though. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that up on Truth Mafia tonight. So, guys, after this live ends within the next couple hours, check truthmafia.com. It'll be up there. He did a full video on adrenochrome. And they don't like us saying that word, but I don't give a shit.
Thrill oxide, yeah. So the Rumble video is called Adrenochrome, Freemasonry, and MKUltra, and then the YouTube version of it is called Thrill Oxide, Stonecutters, and MKUltron, because they kept giving me flags just for having the words in the video.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous that they do that, man. We ain't allowed to say nothing like we're little kids or some shit,
Well, we can get into that on a future episode, but I actually found the exact think tank that made that word in particular a no-no, and it's filled with CIA, FBI, Homeland Security agents, and they connect directly to Silicon Valley, and they tell Silicon Valley, here's what words that you should allow and the ones that you don't. And it's the ones that don't are basically put into these extremist categories. And that's what AI is doing. That's what social media is doing, is they're flagging all of our content as extremist content. And that gives them the right to take more extreme tactics against it because they equate that with violence. It's a crazy, insane 1984 way of doing things, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's like people like me, guys, are on a terrorist watch list. No, I really am. I'm really on one, I swear to God. And I am not a terrorist. I'm a damn YouTuber, content creator. Do I have some different outlooks? Yeah, I believe in the truth. So wherever it leads me, that's what I'm.
That makes you a terrorist.
I guess that makes you a terrorist in America now. It's